Hello, everyone. This is Sparlycos. With me today in order is Castillo, G-Dog, Lost Shadow, and Foil. And Foil,
That
you
totally
have
was
a
not in
topic?
order.
Yeah, what was that order?
Right?
I'm going off of order of the
That
Xbox
was the,
chat.
that was
How
the
do they
order
know
of
what order
spot. I
the party
felt
menu's
like
in? Yeah. You could have said in no particular order, but you said in order. You are not an agent of order. You're an agent of chaos. I've seen you in firsthand.
Chaosica.
To be fair, that
Okay.
just means he's Sheogorath, which is not specifically a bad thing.
Nah, I'm sorry. He's a Skaven. It's a shame the Mordheim
Yes,
game
bad
wasn't that
thing.
great. I feel bad abandoning my clan. They were the dirty rats, but now they're the fast and the furriest. Thank you. It was worth it just for the joke.
Okay. So,
Right.
Foil, what's the topic you want to bring up?
Okay, the topic for tonight is going to be Bungie's decision to limit your access on their forums on whether you have Destiny 2 account or you have made progress in Destiny 2 to a certain point. Their community lead has posted something that went live on the 7th. And I need to pull this up really fast. But basically you have to have Destiny 2 and made it to the farm, which is the first social area, in order to access the Destiny 2 thread, the feedback thread, which is basically most games, the general gaming thread, which is self-explanatory, and the off-topic thread. You have to have a Destiny account to access the series thread for Destiny, which honestly I think makes a certain kind of sense. Clans and recruitment, which I do not understand, and the community, which I am unclear if that's just the Destiny community thread or the overall Bungie community thread.
That's a lot of things.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Honestly, I understand if you want to make the actual, game thread locked if you don't own the game. That's perfectly understandable. I'm not sure I agree with it because some people may be going in there that, hey, do I want to check this game or anything?
Yeah,
but,
research.
But
Granted, a game's
overall,
forum
yeah.
is a dumb place to go because only people who like it would be there.
Not necessarily.
Right.
You haven't been to the Destiny 2 forums in because there's a lot of shit going on there after all the shit Bungie's been doing with Destiny 2. Like, that's part of the reason why I think they've implemented this. But why would you do something like the gaming thread, which is general games? If you go to Bungie's thread to talk about Halo, you can't talk about Halo unless you have Destiny.
Because
2.
they're trying to get rid of the pages and pages of people that are apparently saying, hey, remove Eververse. And they don't care how they do it.
And
It's
don't those
retarded,
forums
but-
notoriously... Sorry.
The whole
Don't those
point
forums
is that it's
notoriously
retarded.
have a huge community that does nothing but say, hey, if you're displeased with this game, go play Warframe.
Warframe is nothing like
Which-
Destiny.
Yes,
Kind of
but a
is.
lot of Destiny players who talk to people who aren't fans of Destiny are like, well, you don't like Destiny? Fuck off and play Warframe. It's free, you noob.
Destiny YouTubers are moving over to Monster Hunter World too.
For all that I'm not a big fan of that franchise, I'll give that game one thing. It has content. And granted, most of it is killing the same monster 10 times in a row to get that set of gear to move on to the next one, but...
Destiny.
Mhm.
Let's be fair now.
Yeah,
That's pretty
To be
similar
fair,
to
that's-
Destiny.
content.
That's been any multiplayer RPG for a while now.
Yeah, but in some games, like Destiny and Warframe as an example, you're also getting XP to unlock new ways to make your character more awesome with abilities and shit. Whereas in Monster Hunter, it's literally just gear, which is kind of what's always bugged me about that franchise.
Gear in Destiny 2, kinda.
Depends how hard they nerfed
So,
everything in Destiny
Did
2.
they officially give any... Oh, sorry.
Okay,
Well,
abilities in Destiny 2 are shit.
They don't need
So
to give an
did-
explanation, Sparta.
Well, I'm actually a little curious what their explanation, if any, was.
Who
It
says they've
was to
given one?
combat the... Yeah, Where's my phone? I'd have to actually look up what the community manager posted. It was mostly the... From memory, it was mostly to combat people who were posting negatively about Destiny 2.
How
which
dare
I
someone
don't
Well, they didn't want people
understand
posting
because-
negatively. They should have added pretty much nothing.
Well, my point on this is, like, some of those people bitching about Destiny 2 own it, so they really have not done anything about it.
Some are
A lot of the people.
I'm not gonna say
bitching
most
about
because there
Destiny
are-
2 own it.
There are a lot of people that don't own it that has seen what Bungie's doing, though.
Yeah, but
well,
that's the thing.
true, but out of the people who don't own it, how many of them are Destiny 1 players who want a sequel that's worth their money?
Yeah, I mean,
Destiny 1's been out how long? I'm playing it right now. Destiny 2 is on my ready to install. It can remain there.
Yeah, I uninstalled Destiny when the thing dropped.
I think we
Don't
all
even
pretty
have
much
the
gave
game
our
anymore.
opinion of Destiny 2 when we tried out the beta.
I
That
gave
was
it a
off the
chance
damn, it-
because
So did I.
once it launched, I gave it a chance. And, if they had continued the way Destiny 1 had go, I could see it being a decent game at the end, like Destiny 1 had been. But that's not the route they went.
Also, like Destiny 1 was always on an upward trajectory. As troubled as the launch was, every time they added stuff to the game, it's things players wanted, and the idea was to improve it. Destiny 2 has been the opposite.
Right. And unfortunately, that's been a major downside to the game and is kind of killing it.
And trust me, I don't want Destiny 2 to be killed. I want more Destiny in my life. I want another good one. I just don't know if that can be it at this point, unless they're willing to take a massive 180 in their way they're doing things.
The whole game
Which
would
I
have
doubt
to
they do.
change. It won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what I've been hearing from some YouTubers like Sid Alpha, they're not going to change any of their attitude or anything about this.
course
They're going
not.
to keep pushing
The
for
players
it
are
now.
Bungie.
No,
Bungie.
Bungie is actively saying that anyone who speaks out against Destiny 2 is just a hater.
Kind of bizarre.
They are not accepting any criticism of their game. If someone criticizes them, they write it off as they're just haters.
The laughing in the background perfectly encapsulates what I think about that. Thank you.
Well,
whoever
You're
that
welcome.
was.
That was
Thanks,
G-Dog.
G-Dog.
I will say a lot of people like to jump on bandwagons when hate starts happening for a game, and I'm sure that's happening. But if you're like me, I didn't want it to suck. I just wanted it to be good. The people want to be heard because they're not saying go kill yourself, you made a shitty game. They're saying fix this. We want this to be good.
Mm-hmm. And, well,
If we're getting into the subject of this, I really should have seen it would be before it released.
I mean, before Destiny 2 released, when we were talking about the beta, you were its biggest defender, Castile.
Yeah, because I love Halo. I love the first game. I wanted them to do well. But there was an interview with the creative director back before the game itself released. That really
Yeah.
should have just set off some... Sorry, I'm...
You're cutting in and out a lot, by the way.
Yeah, dude.
Trying to multitask. There was an interview with the creative director before the game itself released. Really should have set a lot of red flags off for me, because he basically said, oh yeah, there are story threads we may never resolve, you'll just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And honestly, at first I was thinking it was Activision, but several times you have pointed out, Shadow...
Forums would definitely
No,
just be
it's-
Bungie.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I pointed it out to you, but the audience wasn't there for that, so you don't have to mention it specifically.
Yeah. Well, still. And I was actually gonna, if I hadn't known about that, just chalk this up as, oh, Activision's trying to get more money or ruin a game or something. Because Activision. But, yeah, more and more I've seen of it, it's definitely Bungie.
Trust me, after everything Activision did to the first game, I want it to be Activision's fault too. This isn't.
See, you mentioned this, but I've heard it said that Activision's main part of it when it came to the deal really was marketing and so on, and making the game itself would be left to Bungie, which, given the reputation they had built for themselves, coming off of Halo, doesn't surprise me one bit. Shit happened, so they're not the same
I mean,
company, pretty much.
They made it extremely clear, with no uncertain terms, the reason Destiny 1's launched with almost no content was 100% Activision. Like, that's the reason Destiny 1 has no story, because places like the Reef were necessary to tell it, and because Activision decided that would make a good DLC, they cut the entire story just so they could sell that area as DLC.
The Destiny 1 story got cut up so fucking bad. Like, it's barely there. Like, it's there for the DLC installments, but that's just to give an excuse to have the DLC. Like, the overall story is gone.
I will say, as we entered year 2, when it was an entirely new story and everything, I love where they went with it. I really do. But they, in order to make those stories completely had to completely had to gut what they were aiming for. That said, you could tell that the way it changed, because it went completely from dark, serious, foreboding to humorous, which was, I think, a good choice.
And then they overdo it hardcore in 2. Like, I like Cade in Destiny 1. He's a fumbling idiot in 2.
I kind of said as soon
they
as...
did that to...
That's
they
the
did that to
fate
Cade?
of every joke character. Yeah. Every comic relief becomes a bumbling idiot by the next installment, because it's apparently hard to maintain the certain level.
Oh, fuck. I actually really liked Cade in the first one.
Yeah, I don't like him at all in 2.
Keep in mind, the shit that endeared Cade to you all came to be as part of DLC, too. Like, Cade in year 1 was pretty much non-existent. You did...
Most of the Vanguard was, minus flavor text.
The only Vanguard mentor who had any personality was Ikora, and that was mostly through flavor text.
Right.
Then Taken King came out, and they just basically handed a mic to Nathan Fillion's like, here, steal the show.
Just pretty much, yeah.
Like, year 2 was the Cade 6 show.
Yeah.
And then
it
in year
worked
3,
fucking well.
they pull out this fucking new guy named Shiro, who tried to out Cade 6, and couldn't.
I never thought that was the point of it myself. Shiro doesn't show up, like, at all in 2, by the way.
Shiro is discount Cade 6.
I actually don't think he appears in 2 ever.
No, I don't
wouldn't
think he
be
does
surprised. He barely appeared I mean, he was just an overture. And literally, he is a hunter, exo, that does nothing but spout fucking sarcasm. He is literally an attempt to be Cade, without paying for Cade's actor.
Pretty much. So you'd think they would have bothered to pay.
You know,
they paid
just
for
out of
all the others.
curiosity, how
didn't
many
they?
have we
They
set
paid for
down for
Saladin.
one of these? How many of these have we set down for just to end up bitching about Destiny?
The whole
I
topic is
don't know.
Probably quite a few.
Good half of them, maybe.
I mean, me and you are here. We could turn this into a deep political conversation.
That's the other half, unfortunately.
Why,
Not
unfortunately?
necessarily. We talk about Resident Evil and Final Fantasy.
He banned me from
I
talking
only remember
about
that
Resident
the
Evil.
first
We've done
and-
it so much.
Maybe 2 other episodes.
But
Wait.
great game.
There was an entire one that was just me and him playing raid mode while I explained Resident Evil to him.
Okay, that was more of the tiny idea of Nerd Talk starting to form, because I wanted to... Originally, what this was going to be was, during the middle of a Let's Play, I do a small little sort of podcast-esque thing involving the game. And
I
we
mean,
would just
we
talk
could
about that
sit here and
franchise.
further discuss how we've broken Elder Scrolls and Fallout games.
I mean, let's at least
'Cause
try to
that's
get this
a
on the
new
topic of
topic, right?
Destiny, because that's a freaking... There's a lot to go into. And I'm trying not to keep it all on the negatives here, because we bitched a lot. We can talk about fun things.
I
like,
know.
remember how they went through the effort of redoing some of the old strikes when they re-released them to be more interesting?
Yes.
Remember how
But
they
Destiny
made...
2 has put a paywall
What's her
on old
face?
shit.
Have they seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, Destiny 2 when the DLC came out, they didn't have a legacy playlist.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
I remember hearing about that a little.
They also paywalled the Crucible. Actually, they pretty much paywalled everything except the patrols.
Just give it a year. They'll probably find a way to do that.
No, they can't
Honestly,
paywall the
they're still
patrols because
putting out
that's
shit.
their excuse for saying there's still gameplay.
Yeah.
Trust me, they could have. Just like how you can't access the certain things in Patrol if you don't have access to the Plague Lands in this. But to do it, they made the Plague Lands count as a new area, even though it's still in the Cosmodrome.
Yeah. And see, here's my thing with that. Like, people try to compare it to, like, World of Warcraft with each expansion. The thing with World of Warcraft is, if you don't have an expansion, you still can play all the other zones. Like, they don't
Unfortunately, in
paywall.
Destiny 2, you can't do jack shit if you don't get the DLC.
Exactly.
This was the same in the first game, though.
Yeah,
No, the first game
I
had
do
legacy.
In the
remember
first game,
talking
they
about
had the
doing
legacy.
that.
They had legacy playlist, and
Yeah,
they
but
didn't
you
By
could
the
barely
time
do
year
anything
one-
else.
By the end of year
You could
one,
still
there
do
were
legacy
6 strike
strikes.
playlists. You could still play
You could
PvP. There were special PvP lists only for people with DLC, and the events were never in those.
Yeah.
Except Trials, but Trials came out as part of a DLC.
I mean, you could still do everything. They actually took shit away in Destiny 2 when they brought the expansion, if you didn't buy it. I mean, Destiny
then,
1, you could still do
Oh, yeah, like
everything
the
you could do
Prestige
before
raid.
the expansion.
And then
Yeah,
wasn't
that-
there that recent thing where they said they would up the amount of XP you can get, but also up the
Oh, they
the
tried not to
XP
mention the part
amount
where they
you
up in
need.
the XP amount.
yeah, but people quickly figured that out.
Do you
Have
know
they
because
why
they
actually
wanted
fixed
to
that yet, or
experience-
no?
Yeah, they're not fixing that. They intentionally
To be
want
fair, EA did the
give the
same
game
thing
more
with
length.
Battlefront 2.
Do you know why they were saying that about upping the EXP amount, Sparta?
To sell more of the
No, the thing that
light
led to this whole
things.
fucking thing in the first place.
People bitching about the grind.
It wasn't even the grind. It's like, hey, this says I got 12,000 XP, but my bar's barely full. So someone went and tested it. Oh yeah, you lose 90% of XP if you keep doing shit enough.
oh
Yeah, you're getting a 10% return on your effort. 10%.
Actually,
you
no,
get
it was
that
more like
low.
4%.
And the reason
so yeah, at that
is
point,
called
what's
artificial
the-
game length.
Yep.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what's the point of that?
The point is artificial game length.
Like I said, EA did the same thing with Battlefront with their credits to buy the crates. Like they increased the number of credits that you got for completions, but they also increased the price of the crates.
And there's a cooldown if you play offline mode.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear they actually finally re-added the paying for the fucking crates?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah, I
was
knew
never
it wasn't
something they were
permanent.
getting rid of. They were just waiting for the heat to die down.
Which honestly, people need to remember that because companies like EA and Activision have been getting away with this kind of shit since the 90s. Maybe not this specific example, but all the dirty business practices they've been doing since
Because
the
if you
90s, and
get
people
caught
just
for it, they wait a while, they come back, and everyone's let it go. It's like, that's old news. We didn't have to talk about it anymore, but you do.
Yeah, well, it's like EA buying studios and shuttering them or gutting them. They've literally been doing that since the 90s, and it's just now become a topic again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why when I was growing up playing games, like EA was considered one of the bigger evils in the industry, and then, they started shoveling out Call of Duties regularly, and people kind of forgot about it.
That's Activision.
Yeah, EA
Well-
didn't do anything involving COD.
They've
Yeah, they
published quite a few of them.
Wait, they did?
Yeah.
EA haven't published any Call of Duties.
Yeah. I started at COD 1. That's Activision, I think. Do you want me to go get my COD 1 disc? My OG on the
maybe-
PS2 COD 1 disc? Because I'm pretty damn sure it was
Oh.
Activision.
Medal of Honor was EA.
Yeah.
My mistake. Medal of Honor.
Yeah, that's
was EA.
probably what you were thinking.
That's
of.
why I was saying it
Yeah.
too. Like, they haven't done anything directly with COD, but they have killed a studio that built a Medal of Honor game.
Hmm. At this point, considering the state of Medal of Honor, I would say they've killed most of them that have worked on a Medal of Honor game.
I don't
Well, how
think
about
there's going
this?
to be another Medal of Honor game.
I used to love
I don't
the
either.
Sims games, but the Sims games quality turned to shit. You know why? Because the Sims 2 didn't sell very well. So they gutted and fucking dismantled Maxis, who made all the Sims things. Oh my god, a pack of wolves is prowling. I haven't seen that message in so fucking long.
Okay.
Like,
House of
year
Wolves,
one,
Sparta.
holy
House
fuck.
of Wolves.
Yeah. That actually
I take
brings
it you're
me
on
to
Mars.
the thing
Yeah.
I truly hate EA for. The
Go on.
dismantling and destruction of good studios and series.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like I
Mass
said, that's
Space,
been an issue
gone.
since the 90s.
Visceral, gone. Westwood, Command and Conquer.
Well,
The worst
wasn't
part is, a
3DO
lot of them
also
get
bought out by
dismantled.
EA?
Yeah, 3DO's gone.
Don't forget about the most recent kill to their body count.
Visceral.
Visceral.
BioWare.
I mentioned that. They
Not
haven't
all of
killed
BioWare,
BioWare.
one BioWare studio.
Ow.
Granted, that BioWare
which-
studio did make Andromeda, but
You
still.
mean Vancouver? Is it Vancouver?
Which
think it
just
is.
leaves Austin and Montreal, I believe.
Isn't there one in Edmonton too?
Oh, that's it. It's Edmonton and Austin. Wait. No, you're right. You're right. There is Vancouver. There is Montreal and Edmonton and Austin. And all of them are now working on Anthem.
Which,
You know-
does anyone have any hope for that one?
Nope.
EA's
It
attempt
better
at
be
Destiny
fucking
killer
epic
because
considering it killed Mass Effect.
EA's attempt
Considering
at
how
there's
many
hope in-
reboots and rewrites they've had of it already, nope. I have no faith in it whatsoever.
Wait,
Oh
what?
no, I
Really?
expect it to shit. Yeah.
How much you want to
yeah.
bet they're probably
Yeah,
going to
it's
pay to
been
win option in
rebooted
it?
and rewritten like 3 times now.
Keep in mind the Anthem project started around the time Mass Effect 3 went out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like
Yeah, I haven't.
It's gonna be a Duke Nukem
Overwatch,
Forever
but
syndrome.
worse.
It just bugs me the fact that EA's fucked over other games for this project that is going to fail horribly.
I know.
Namely Andromeda.
Mostly Andromeda. But the fact that Andromeda failed and now we're going to kill the entire fucking Mass Effect franchise, which is one of my most beloved franchises of all time. Actually,
Yeah,
you know
it
what?
kinda sucks.
Don't hurt BioWare in general. BioWare do good, don't hurt BioWare.
They say it's
You
more
know,
like
if
them
one of the
putting
games they work on
cryostasis.
fails, they're going to take it as BioWare didn't do their job and pretty much
Well,
tear
considering
the thing
all
apart.
their studios are currently doing Anthem, yeah, there have even been people working for who probably shouldn't have at BioWare who've said the general gist that EA has been telling us for the last 6 or so months is if Anthem fails, BioWare closes.
And this is why
I
hate
just
EA.
hope. I don't want to see BioWare close by any means, but if they do, I want to see decent companies pick up their IPs. Like,
You
No,
really
I hope
think
they will sit
EA
on
is
them.
going to sell those IPs?
EA will sit on them.
Yes.
that completely
Maybe.
depends on what their contract with
Contract.
EA is.
They
Right.
won't sell them.
Well, they might
That-
not have the chance, depending on the contract. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Square Enix drops Hitman, but IO manages to maintain the rights.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's also possible that they may sell some IPs to make up any lost profits EA claims. Because that's kind of what Sega did, and that's why Sega still technically exists.
Ah.
I say technically because Sega's a shell of its former self.
Sonic
Yeah, I mean,
Mania
it took,
happened, and then Sonic got to be amazing for like 2
Well,
months.
hold on. Sonic Mania was a bunch of modders that Sega hired to make a 2D platformer.
At least Sega recognized the modders know how to make a good game.
Yeah, and the game that Sega
They
put
basically have remade
out was
games.
kind of shit.
Like,
The only interesting fact was you can make your own Sonic character, which people have already been doing on DeviantArt for years.
Or you know,
Because
in another direction, I would say look at how Microsoft acquired all Rare's titles.
that's a part of it. Putting it blunt, spot, but we'll move on.
No,
from that.
it's
That's
also
its own-
because Sonic fandom is kind of weird.
Insane.
I
Yeah.
have seen the Sonic
It's
Dreams
not just
collection.
furries.
I know
it's
this.
Sonic fandom is just weird.
I know that.
I
Find
like
a
some
fandom
Sonic.
and you will find a hardcore.
He's
Fair
right.
enough, but still.
I mean, I like Sonic. I don't want to be associated with these people either, so...
Yeah.
Sorry to any Sonic fanboys
you-
that we may have
I'm
offended
not.
there, but
Some of you are fucking insane.
If you've not heard of
Keep
the
in
Sonic
mind, I
Dreams
like people who are
collection,
fucking insane, but there are things that
Don't.
make me go, yeah, no.
I know there's the sort
Right?
of don't that makes people tempted to look, but really, don't.
yeah, it's
It's mad.
you will live a better life if you never see anything from the Sonic fandom.
Too
You
late.
know, some could say the same about like bronies and furries as well, though. Keep that in mind, Sparta.
I think I just got, like, the second Year 1 Warlock set helmet.
Nice.
Azoth Bend 1. I think this is the second Year 1 Warlock set, wasn't it? No, this is the PlayStation set.
Yeah. It'll be Sublime Engrams or some bullshit.
No, regular
So,
old uncommon
anyway,
engrams.
Huh.
where were we on the EA topic?
Somewhere
talking-
about.
I don't remember
I'm not
because
gonna
you
finish.
mentioned you
EA is God. EA is awesome.
Oh no, they got to G-Dog. Shit, how do we cure G-Dog of EA's goodness?
You know, here's my thing with EA.
EA
though. Even
cured
though
the
EA
That's good.
owns
Hate-
all.
I hate the publisher. They do occasionally put out good works, and they don't even put out. They help push out good works, but the studios that they swallow up, it's why I hate
Disgusting.
them. Like the actual creativity just gets destroyed under EA.
Yeah.
Because every time you make a project under EA, you have to assume if it doesn't sell really well, you're dead, which means no one's willing to take risks. Which
Wow, I
honestly
need to
is
turn the
probably
sound
part
down
of
on
what
this.
happened to Destiny 2.
It's because they
wouldn't
didn't
be
try hard
surprised.
enough.
No, I'm guessing part of it is Activision's like, this game must make us this much money, and they probably made some of those decisions thinking this is how we can maximize our money for our evil overlords.
When in the long run they could just say "fuck you" and leave, or
I mean,
throw the evil overlord over a fucking pit and let him die in the fucking
Not
Death Star or
really.
something.
that's not really how
Not
evil
really.
overlords work.
Yeah, usually you have to, waddle through their minions first, which means killing some of that creativity we want to defend.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only way you're ever going to hurt EA is to hurt their money, and if you hurt their money, you hurt the studios under them.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And they have demonstrated that EA will fire the studio even if the studio did nothing wrong. Even if the studio did nothing but listen to EA's commands. Which is what happened to Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age 2 mainly sucked because EA's like, no, this is how it should be. This is what
I'm
people
not going
want.
to
They
lie.
just don't know it yet.
This exact reason is why I'm kind of worried about DICE and Battlefield 2.
What have they said about that? No, the fact that they're already releasing it concerns me.
The fact that it's coming out in October, yeah.
Well,
I
was
actually
just
haven't
more
heard anything
concerned
about
with
it.
what
It's
EA might
coming
do
out in
if-
October. Their CEO has apparently outright said as much.
Okay, you said that, you mentioned that, but I haven't, like, is it just recently they're talking about this, or what?
Yes, they talked about it in relation to Anthem. I think that's about all I've heard about it. There's been
All
fuck
right.
all. I don't think there's been any teaser trailers, no nothing. Just, hey, it's coming out October.
God, I hope Anthem's good. I don't even care if
It
I
won't be.
personally don't like it. I just hope Anthem's good enough that people buy it and BioWare stays open to make new Dragon Ages and maybe more Mass Effects.
Let's
That'd be
be
nice,
real,
wouldn't it?
it won't be.
You
No,
know,
it's not.
I kind of
Anthem's
want...
also supposed to be like a fucking like a Destiny killer too. Keep in mind.
Yes, because
No,
EA
that's
have
gonna
no
take a lot of
creativity
work.
and must directly contest Activision in whatever they
Yeah.
do.
Anthem's
And
supposed to
vice versa.
be EA's Destiny killer. That
Anything
already
that, like-
screams this is never going to work.
Yeah,
Anything
because
that
Destiny
labels
killed itself.
Not even that. Anything that labels itself as a so-and-so killer is directly doomed to fail because it's 99% of 100 that it's not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, that's not always true. Call of Duty did pretty well, and it was the Medal
Call of
Honor
Duty
killer.
was the Medal of Honor killer. That's what it was set up as, and it did. So that one did its job.
That was actually its working title for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
just
there were other
now
things,
we have
like
all these
Fable
Call
was
of
the
Duties
Morrowind
every year.
killer. How'd that work out?
It was
Fable is
actually
the-
moderately
Yeah.
successful.
Actually, for all the praise it got, Fable was, it was not a breakout, immediate, massive success. Fable
No,
2
it
is kind of
wasn't.
what got their name a little bit out there, and then they killed it with 3.
No, Peter
And
Molyneux
then-
killed it.
Yeah, him and all
Didn't it
his...
kind of
fucking-
bury it even further underground with that Connect version?
We don't talk
We
about
don't
that.
talk about that.
It does
I didn't even know that
exist.
one existed, right?
It's literally, yeah. It definitely isn't a rail shooter with Kinect controls for magic or anything. No one would ever make something that stupid.
When I saw it on the
Sure.
E3 trailer, it looked interesting, but no, just why?
But you got to care for the horse with Kinect controls. Look, you can pet the horse and it will notice. Wasn't it worth it?
No. If I wanted to pet an animal, I'd have gotten the fucking shitty Connect Tigers thing, or Connectimals, or whatever it's called.
You mean the...
But in that
Tech
case, if I
demo?
really wanted a...
No,
Yeah,
or
that's a tech.
if I really, really wanted a
Uh,
good pet taking a game to take care of pets, I'd just get Nintendogs.
I'm gonna be real
Or
here.
Pokemon these days.
You'd fuck all that shit off. You'd just buy Viva Pinata. You're done. There's
You
your
already have
anime
Viva
racing
Pinata.
game.
And our
Yeah.
fucking data got deleted on us.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's what you do.
You're playing
Viva
through and our
Not to
data got
mention,
deleted.
rest in peace, Shadow's little
What the
fox
hell?
pinata.
I don't remember. I don't remember what they're called. I had like 4 more in the other land I hadn't told you about. I was fine with it.
Wait, seriously? So we could have kept playing?
No, we couldn't. My data got deleted. Remember?
I thought
That
you were
was-
the one that deleted it.
No, my data got deleted.
Okay. Well,
okay.
then fuck.
You know how I've had issues in the past where something gets saved to the cloud on the last gen console and on this gen console, and it's like, which one's right? Which was why I couldn't Clash of Heroes for a while. Yeah, my sister loaded it on last gen and saved over my cloud.
Oh.
And then it was
Okay.
like, and then I got the error message and it was stuck freezing. And as I learned with Clash of Heroes, the only way to get rid of that freezing every time is to delete your cloud and then re-upload it from the last gen, except it's not on my last gen, because we did it on this gen. Yeah, if you want a Viva Pinata, we're starting fresh again.
I guess that's fine. Just hopefully your sister doesn't delete it.
I mean, the console's upstairs.
Or
I
actually-
can't control what they save over.
Why not I just host it?
That would work too.
Okay, problem solved. Next time we get a chance to play Viva Pinata, I'm hosting. Anyway, back to EA.
Technically, we should be talking about Activision and Bungie. We just decided to shit on EA for a while.
Yeah, right.
He's
right.
right.
To be fair, either or at this point. They're cut from the same cloth.
Kinda,
Yeah.
yeah.
Though,
Not yet.
actually,
Activision
would you
has
mind if
some sit in sports games with loot boxes.
I do actually kind of want to bring up the topic that I was wanting to use before you had mentioned this one, since we're on the topic of publishers. And, well, what if someone's like, say, Nintendo, Sony, or even Microsoft were to buy them out? And how would that change the gaming landscape?
Or to buy out like
It happens
EA.
all the time. Oh yeah, nobody's
yeah, to
buying
buy out
EA, They
EA or
couldn't pay
Activision.
enough.
But what if they could?
I don't know. What if we found a
Some
way to
of
make
them-
limitless energy out of fucking shiny turds? You can say the what if, but if there's not even a chance of it happening, there's not much point.
I
Something
don't see how
to be
this would be
noted
beneficial since they
is
are
that-
publishers.
Some of those companies could now, but doesn't mean they would, and it's for a variety of reasons. Like, going all over us in the end, you can sum it up one way. If companies like Microsoft, Nintendo, and so on are going to purchase any developers, it will be smaller teams.
Well, he's not even
Or-
talking about dev teams. He's talking about publishers.
No, that won't
Right.
happen.
Yeah, like there's no reason for a company like that to buy a publisher.
It just
And
won't
even
happen.
if there was, EA would never sell.
Yeah.
It
Well,
would
isn't
break
EA a
their
public-
business strategy of having all of the money.
Isn't EA a publicly owned company or whatever? Stocks and so on. If they have enough
Yeah.
shares, they can say, fuck you, we own you now.
But that's a big risk on the stock market for no gain. They will never do it.
Not to mention, that only assumes they've sold enough shares.
Yeah, that too.
Or
Which
enough shares
I
have
honestly
been
don't know.
I don't
Well,
think
they have to
EA
sell
sold off
enough
enough
sh-
shares.
Yeah.
They don't
And
need
even if
to
they
sell
did-
the shares so much as the shares need to be bought from other people.
They still
But
have
they
to
can
sell
still
enough shares to
maintain
have a
enough.
majority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that, even if they've sold enough shares for Microsoft to try to get the majority, EA could go around and buy the shares right back from their own shareholders as well.
Yeah, and that's not uncommon for corporations.
No. Like, Ubisoft's having issues with that, but Ubisoft doesn't have the limitless coffers. And you can tell Ubisoft's had trouble with it. That's why Ubisoft has done things to try to make some extra money here and there. That's kind of why it doesn't bother me as much, because I know there's a damn good reason. It's called the continuation of their company. That's why Hitman's gotten more expensive. Because without their publisher backing them, they needed more money.
Pretty much.
That doesn't bug me as much as companies doing it like EA and Activision, because they don't want some of the money, they want all of the money.
It isn't even... It is that, but it's another thing I've mentioned repeatedly in the past before. They're companies, so naturally they want to make money, but how they go about it is the important thing.
Well, it used to be back in the day, most companies would say, we want all the money, so we're going to do it by making the best possible product and trying to outsell everyone. But as time's gone on, companies have realized they don't have to make the best thing. They just have to find a way to uber monetize what they have. It defeats the entire purpose of competition.
I
in the
don't
first
even
place.
think it's that so much. Take this as commentary on whatever you wish, but the amount of money that they earn and the profit margins that they have been increasingly put on a pedestal.
Yeah.
That's why, let's be honest. So whatever they can do, they will do. To make the highest profit margin possible and have the prettiest numbers on a page.
I
All
will
that
say
is.
this, though. It's not even like a media or outside influence. They want to make money because their shareholders want them to make money so they can make money.
I get that, but like you said, it's how you do what matters.
Yeah.
Like hostile takeovers and closing companies and studios for shit, that's been smart business practice for a while. It's not just in video games by any means.
Oh, yeah, I know, but it's just the way they go about it because they're killing the creative teams for these games.
Well, what pisses people off more about video games with it is, like, if you destroy a company that makes paper and paper products, there's 1,000 that'll make the identical thing. A video game studio, if they're closed, the things they were going to do were unique to them, generally. Unless they do, like, sports games or something.
Mm-hmm.
So people who've wanted
The only
something
way
and
they
have been
can
waiting years for it will never get it back. Will never get it now.
And the closest thing to someone actually managing to bring back something from the past would, well, the original Rare team was able to make Ukulele, and
Everyone hated it. In fairness, everyone hated it because those classic video games like that don't hold up without the nostalgia boner you get from playing them.
It's not even that so much as I've seen it. I saw it said it's something like
there was a lack of content.
it's not even lack of content. It was like it was too imaginative. It
All
wasn't
the old
imaginative
games
enough
have
to
lack
be
of content
Banjo.
issues.
It
That's
wasn't
why
imaginative
that's why
enough.
old games were so hard. Because by making you lose and restart over and over, it extended the game length to hide the lack of game length.
And arcade
No, I mean,
machines.
like, they had tons of areas that had not even enemies, just you were walking around. Banjo-Kazooie actually just had enemies at least a few feet away from each other every step you took.
As I was mentioning before, The thing with ukulele, as I remember seeing it described, it's not imaginative enough to be Banjo Tooie, but it's not like solid enough to be the first Banjo. So it just kind of floats.
I was actually sort of interested in that game until I found out how empty it was.
I just honestly can't think. Like, whenever you see the big push for nostalgia games like that, like, and then they're like, it's not what I thought it would be. That's because you thought it would be. You had impossible standards for what this would be. You're not going to get your childhood in video game form.
Nostalgia.
Honestly, I wasn't hoping for something like that. I was hoping for
exactly what they're remembered as. But you have to understand what made people remember them so fondly. And you have to recreate that without fucking it up.
Well, it's got to
Right.
be more than that, too. Keep in mind, a lot of the issues on those games is like, A, they honestly aren't that fantastic compared to what you're used to these days. You loved them at the time because A, you were a kid, and B, it's what you had.
Though there are exceptions, like apparently the Shadow of the Colossus remaster, which I hear is amazing.
In fairness, it's exactly what you expected. It's Shadow of the Colossus, but with better graphics. And with controls that don't suck.
Oh, come here.
Honestly, I was
Stop.
more interested in seeing what the team did because it was the original team that made Banjo-Kazooie and all the other Rare games. But they didn't bring their A game for it.
All
It
the other
just-
Rare games means they made Battletoads. They made nuts.
Okay, the
Bolts.
64 ones where they actually used, 3D platforming.
Or the
mean,
Crash
also-
Bandicoot reboot, where they forgot that one key detail that made all those old school platformers work. What's called the Coyote Step, named after Wile E. Coyote, where you could have a foot off and still jump.
No.
It's what sums that up is it was an old interview with fucking Reggie, meme man from Nintendo. He said it perfectly. When they were making Super Mario 64, it's 3D platformers cannot have the same unerring precision required that 2D ones can, because the difference in how you perceive space can very easily fuck with it and make it, like, impossible. I've seen a lot of clips of that not being a thing in Crash Bandicoot, and really works against it.
Keep in mind, Crash Bandicoot's a 2.5D game. It's not
But hey,
just
while we're on the
3D.
topic of games that shouldn't be making you platform, that Destiny, eh?
Oh God, Oryx.
Right.
Oh my god, every 5 seconds Destiny's like, guess what? It's a platformer now.
The game
Tell me
is
they
not
cut that
designed
in
for
two.
that.
Tell me they cut that in two.
Nope.
Fuck you! Yeah,
Jump.
that shit sucks.
Especially
Oh, hey,
if you're
G-Dog's
a
alive.
hunter on
Especially if you
servers.
blink.
Yeah, or blink. Jesus Christ, blink. Paintbrush.
Oh my
I love you,
God.
Paintbrush.
Foil, no! Don't do it! He's foil.
Is
while
he
he
about
shoots
to glitch
million
out his
paintbrushes
game?
and climbs to the top of the world. Because oblivion.
I've done it once. I don't need to do it
It was
again.
way more time consuming than I thought it would be.
Yes, it was.
I didn't even know you could do that in Oblivion. I
Paintbrushes
still
have
need to
no
actually
physics
try
applied
that.
to them.
Yeah. You can make staircases out of them. That's how I got to the top of White Gold Tower and found out there was nothing there.
There's not a damn thing there. I expected an Easter egg or something.
So did I.
Like, if you can read this, we have screwed up.
So, like the thing in Bioshock.
I don't know. I
Oh,
like
God.
the thing
I
in,
forgot about that. Oh, my God, I forgot
I like
about
the
that.
thing
Ow.
in San Andreas, where if you climb to the top of this one freaking suspension bridge, all you do is you find a sign that says, "There are no Easter eggs up here, go away."
But that in and of itself is an Easter egg, so it is a paradox.
No, there are none. Go
It
away.
should not exist.
As soon
But
as
it
you said
is.
paradox, the Vex just appeared. You bastard.
That's Rockstar for you.
Cyclops and Voidburn.
Why Rockstar?
Because that's what they do. You know, like Clutch was saying.
Okay,
in San
Rockstar
Andreas.
is, like, famous for their Easter eggs, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he was commenting on the Vex spawning out of nowhere after I said paradox.
No, I had to blow my nose, so I was a little late on the comeback on that one. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like, San Andreas had pages of Easter eggs.
Oh
If you
my
look up a
god.
guide. I mean, sometimes an Easter egg will slip by you. How many times did you start Mass Effect 1 before it occurred to you that woman had said, "Thank the Maker"?
Wait, what?
What? Oh,
When
in
you
the
start
beginning,
Mass
I know what
Effect
you're
1.
talking- yeah.
There's a chick that you see on Eden Prime who says, "Thank the Maker." And if you're like me, you're like, all right, I'm used
Yeah.
to hearing that. Then you think about it a minute, like, wait a minute, did she say "thank the Baker"?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I have never even thought about that, actually.
Uh-huh. She thanks the Maker.
I would go back and check, but I still need to finish my first playthrough, and I don't want to do
It's
another
on
playthrough
Eden
because
Prime. You don't exactly have to play long to hear that.
Oh my...
You
wonder
take a
if
preset
that her
character.
assistant is a Sandal reference.
No, her assistant, no. Sandal's not crazy. Sandal's special. In the best possible, most explosive way.
Give me salamanders, please.
Don't. I think that's where the boom comes from.
Enchantment?
Enchantment!
enchantment.
Enchantment.
That's basically a meme in and of itself by this point. Right, enchantment. I'll be
well
hopping
deserved
off
one.
because it's late over here.
Alright. Enchantment.
All right,
God
Enchantment.
damn it, man.
enchantment.
Enchantment.
What have we done?
Enchantment.
Salamanders, please.
So, you guys know the prevailing theory, right? After,
That he's,
about, Sarah and Sandal?
Yeah.
And Kieran, if Kieran exists? Okay. Massive spoilers for Inquisition ahead. I'll try to keep it vague, but elven gods be real. Totally real.
Yeah.
They're 100%
Okay.
real. You have already met one, Sparta, in the Dragon Age you have played, and you didn't know it yet.
Wait, what?
You will meet another during Inquisition.
What?
Yeah, you've already met one of the ancient elven gods.
How? When?
Goddess.
Who?
I mean, if I told you, it would be a massive spoiler. So, yeah. I
Yeah.
can't say much about
I
that one.
can confidently say Mythal, and you'll have no idea who I'm talking about.
Yeah, you've met Mythal. She wasn't going by the name
Um,
Mythal, but you met her. It doesn't help that
Okay.
the elven god is not in the body of an elf.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, you've met Mythal already. Well, short elven history. Basically, almost all the elven gods, not named the Dread Wolf Fenharil, whose proper name I almost accidentally used there. And,
Which one is the
Mythal-
proper name, though?
Okay, there isn't one. The one he told you to use. How about that? Because Dread Wolf
which
Fenharil
one?
is a mouthful. Anyway, they're the Mythal and Fenharil are the only two that aren't locked away. But yeah, Sandal seems a little bit amazing as a crafter, doesn't he? And you haven't met her yet. But Sarah, who also, like Sandal, acts really fucking weird, is a fucking savant with a bow. Also, Sarah's tarot card, which is her picture when you put her in your party, is literally the elven god of archery's picture with Sarah standing in front of it.
So
So
Head
what
is
if
the elven god?
Yeah, and with Sandal's the crafting god. And Kieran, who is Morrigan's son, if Morrigan has a son, definitely has the body of an old god, or has the spirit of an old god in him. That's sort of why she got pregnant in the first place. Yeah, he is also, like Sarah and Sandal, really weird and able to do mysterious, unexplained things. Because Sarah can do things like never be trained with a bow and be a master at it, or doesn't remember doing it, but picks up an entire beehive without disturbing a single bee and puts it in someone's bed and doesn't remember how she did it. And has a strange fear of the Fade, which is quite possibly where the elven gods were locked away. Also locked away in the Fade are the old gods, the dragons. The and there happen to be the same amount of them as there are archdemons available, and Tevinter gods. There could be some overlay there. So if each of the elven gods are the ones that are the beings that make the archdemons. Oh my Jesus! I just have to record that quickly. Sorry, we just killed the Scion Flayers in 10 seconds.
What?
Dark drinkers. We brought 3 dark drinkers.
Shit.
Anyway, yeah, the theory is, if the elven gods were locked in the Fade by Fenharil, and their souls have to become the archdemons, congratulations, you've met more than one elven god's reincarnation as well. Because you already met Mythal, and it's possible Sandal's one. And if that's how we're going, considering elven gods are going to be how the next game's entire plot goes, Sandal could be back. And not in a way you want. Also, without spoiling much for the next game, the Dread Wolf Fenharil, who created the Veil entirely, the veil between our world and the world of the Fade, has decided it's got to go. And is recruiting tens of thousands of elves to form a massive army to do so, because destroying the Veil will kill everyone that's not an elf. Also, without saying who it is, the Dread Wolf Fenharil's a massive backstab. Have fun! You should Inquisition. Gotta get everything I can possibly say without spoiling anything.
Alright.
Possibly.
You could also go on about Fenharil and Mythal's history, but I don't know how relevant it would be. Depends on how they play that up. Depends on how they play that up in the new game.
Now I have given you all the reason to want BioWare not to die, because the sequel to this must happen. Whoops.
Yep. Though if this game they're working on is successful, they're going to keep BioWare working on that, right?
I know. So Anthem better not suck.
No, I mean, I don't think they'll let BioWare work on any other game aside from Anthem.
No.
Afterwards.
Right now, Anthem is the only thing being... Okay. And the studio that's making Anthem will be stuck on it. The studio making Anthem is not the one making Dragon Age 4.
Okay.
That said, all progress on Dragon Age 4 has been stalled in favor of making Anthem.
Well then,
Yeah.
yeah, EA sucks.
Also, Dragon Age 4 pretty much is still in the writing period. That's it.
Yeah. So we're
In fact,
taking
they're
a
still
lot
hiring
into
new writers.
yeah, we're still taking a lot as assumptions.
Well, here's what we know. It's definitely going to be set into Winter. They said as much in the Trespasser DLC. And they hired someone who's good at fleshing out lesser used lores in games where they have to be very careful about keeping things canon, but they need to expand lore. And he's probably there for the Kunari. Because the Tevinter and the Kunari are at war. So, Kunari are probably going to be a major influence on that game. Plus, they're not elves. Because I'm guessing another lot of that game is going to be how to avoid having one elf army being there turn into a genocide where the humans try to murder every elf. Again. Keywords there. Again.
Yeah, well, there's also, even though the Mage War is over, magic will definitely have a part to play. Especially if the Kunari are involved, because they generally hate magic.
They literally collar and leash their mages.
Yeah. That said, I want to see how they tie the Blight into this, because they've tied the Dark Roads in almost every game.
You mean the Deep
You
Roads?
think they might?
Oh my god, if a Blight started into Winter, think about that. Tevinter created
it has
the Blight.
before.
I know, but if it started in that current political climate, Tevinter created the Blight. And after everything that happens with Corypheus, a lot of them would probably be cool with letting the Blight happen.
You do realize it's not necessarily true, because there is proof that the Blight has existed before the Imperium.
Okay, officially Tevinter created the Blight. We don't exactly go sharing the amazing knowledge we find on these deep delving strips.
But the deep lore that I love.
Someone's mic is staticking a bit.
I fixed it.
No, my controller's getting shaken by this wall of hide boomers.
Why would you try to make me a pilgrim?
So that Destiny, eh?
Yeah, I imagine this will probably be the last Destiny unless EA really
Oh,
wants
I
to try again. Or Activision
They're
really
still
wants
trying
to
to
try
push
again.
the 10-year plan, dude.
Yeah, well, if they keep doing this shit and then do it for the third
they have
game,
yeah.
do you really think anyone's going to want to buy
Can I
it?
just say a 10-year plan in this case should be for, one game?
You would think, but yeah, no.
I mean, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on us players for bothering to fucking buy your shit.
You say that, but the return button saw liberal use with Destiny 2.
Yeah, actually, didn't they kind of disable refunds for a bit? Or am I thinking of some other game?
I honestly don't know.
I could have swore I heard that was Destiny. Or not Destiny 1, Destiny 2. Kind of a little annoying that I have to make the distinction, but whatever.
It's good Destiny and bad Destiny. There's one I have
anyone
no
got
intention
anything
of
else?
touching and one I'm currently playing.
Because I'm playing Oblivion for like the first time in years.
I played it earlier. I
Yeah,
played it last year. I didn't dupe glitch that many things, I swear.
I'm trying to ban myself from dupe glitching shit. Though I may dupe
Then
glitch
put
paintbrushes.
the paintbrush down.
No,
Like, the
because
first
I need
thing
to
I did
decorate
was
my
I was like-
house.
Like, the first thing I did is I'm like, I'm betting this console can handle a lot more dupe glitching than my old Xbox.
Oh, fuck. Can it?
I didn't push that hard.
Alright.
I made dupe glitch paintbrushes just so I can make weapon racks in my house. So
That is a ingenious idea.
Yeah,
you've never done
What?
that? That's how I decorate my house.
Paintbrush shelves. No, I never thought to make paintbrush shelves.
Yeah.
Wait, can you actually put stuff onto the paintbrushes, but they just
Yes, because
float
there's
there?
no physics applied to
Yes.
them.
How do you think I
Like
made
yourself.
a stairway up White Gold Tower?
Right? That's how
I thought you meant like they. I thought you meant like they didn't have any collision, which actually, now that I think about that was kind of a stupid assumption,
Yeah.
considering
Yeah,
how would you
they're-
jump on it?
Yeah, they're not affected by gravity or anything, and you can stand on them. It's really hard to jump on one, so that stairway to heaven takes a long time and a lot of saving, but it's fucking doable. Ooh, fun
Especially
fact
when you're
as
a
well.
vampire.
Fun fact, hey, Sparta, do you want to complete the story
What?
right now in 5 minutes or less?
How?
Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to dupe a bunch of paintbrushes. Then step 2, go to the Temple of the One where the final battle happens. Climb your way up to the
Oh,
roof.
you're talking about sequence breaking, aren't you?
Yeah, you climb your way up to the roof, and then it'll fall through because the roof's not solid. And there's a door mostly in the floor. You'll only be able to see the top. Click it. You'll enter the Temple of the One, but in the middle of the big finale. Now, you're going to have to go kill a few days while you wait for Martin Septim to move his ass. You'll probably have to wait like 3 days or so until he shows up. Maybe run out and in a bit. It gets a little finicky. But if you get it to work...
Right, because he's still over at
Yeah.
what's
But if you
what's
get
the fucking
The Priory.
town?
Yeah. Eventually, he'll show up. He'll kill Mayor. Or he'll fight Mayor and Stegon, and you'll win the game, and you'll get your Imperial Dragon armor in a week.
That okay, that would be cool for me. I might do it at some point, but I'm going for a punchy mage with. Well, no, actually, I set my punchy mage with heavy armor, so yeah, I could definitely do
Imperial Dragon armor is whatever is higher, your light or heavy.
You say punchy
So-
mage as I'm running around as my battle mage build.
It's bad touch mage, thank you. No. Here's what you got. No,
That is-
No, here's what it is. Whatever your highest armor stat is what it comes out as. So if your highest is heavy armor, it's heavy. If your highest is light, it's light armor. It's built to match your character.
Oh,
Yeah. Get yourself
Alright.
some Imperial Dragon armor. It also levels with you, so eventually you'll have to replace it. But it looks good, it feels good, and you'll have it. I mean, do it. Become the Imperial Dragon. Become the champion of Cyrodiil. Also, if you're champion of Cyrodiil, everyone's disposition of you moves like plus 20 instantly in the world.
fuck. Well, I mean, if I do that right out the gate, I won't really have to worry too much about.
You'll
the
never have to
main
worry about
storyline,
a
and
single
I can actually
Oblivion
do
gate
questing.
again either, too.
But I actually like doing the Oblivion gates.
You know what does it? Your console.
Your memory cries every time one.
Also-
Isn't this thing? Wait, isn't the Xbone pretty much two Xbox 360s slapped together?
No.
But its RAM isn't that much better.
Yeah,
Fuck.
keep in mind it's not the full Xbone's power. You're going off of an emulator's power, and your emulator's not much better than a basic bitch 360. So yeah, and since you can't clear your cache without turning your entire console off and on, yeah, have fun with Oblivion Gates. You're gonna have to do a hard reset of your console like every 1 or 2.
As I sit here
Okay.
and consider dupe glitching shit so I can buy spells.
Oh yeah, easy. You do glitch sit until you can buy that really nice scroll at the first edition in the market district, and then you buy that scroll and you just cover the floor in those scrolls. Just cover the floor in them. And then whenever you need money, you come in, pick up a few and sell them right back to them. That's how I do it.
Wow.
I need money. Let me go into my room of money. Sell it to the merchant.
I actually kind of used to use that glitch where you have to go into the guy's house and kill him before he leaves.
Oh, and then he just gives you all the money back, and he just infinitely has the money. I've done that
Yes.
one. They patched that one.
I know. I was sad when I found that out.
Honestly, the one thing that bugged me a bunch with the updates is they fixed the Underfike matron. They nerfed her. And they nerfed them further in Skyrim, if you found... Keep in mind, the Underfike used to be 100% invisible. They took out the invisibility and nerfed them to be a regular enemy. They used to be the unofficial super boss of the game. Like, you had about the same chance of fighting one of them and winning as Mayron's Dagon.
Actually, can you do any damage to Mayron's Dagon?
Yes, but if you do enough, his health just resets.
What? So they don't give you the option of killing him? That's stupid.
He's a fucking god.
I don't care. I want the option to kill the fucking god.
Yeah, that's not how godhood works.
I don't care. Give me the option to take down a god.
That's like saying I need an arrow that can shoot down a dragon. Oh, of course. We also be needing the bow that shoots arrows or the quiver that dispenses beer. And I'm like, yes, both of them. And I need it delivered. I would love that. Okay, we probably need to end this because we have completely forgotten the topic.
I'm probably just going to keep that in, but yeah, anyway. So, thank you everyone for watching the video.
I feel like we made a very
please.
solid case for something in there.
Something, I'm not sure what. I am
EA
disappointed
sucks,
in
Activision
myself. I have
sucks,
not picked up enough
and
scrolls
they
to
will
do.
never let themselves be bought out.
Yeah. Oh, forums. That was the topic. Forums.
Yeah, I totally got away from the points I wanted to make too, and I don't even know how to get back to them now.
Make them real quick.
Well-
man. Real quick.
Yeah.
It was basically developers shitting on their fan base for the most part, because a lot of this is they're trying to cut out negative views of the shit they've been trying to do. Why did I come here? Oh yeah, because you have scrolls.
I ask myself that every time I go to work.
You too, huh?
Why did I come here?
A
Because
lot
they
of
were
it, though,
hiring.
like I said, I do understand them wanting to limit the access if you don't have the game, because that would get rid of some of the trolls. But the fact that they made it even off-topic threads, that I'm not sure what to make of that, but it doesn't sound good in any way.
It's just them trying to silence people that they don't like. That's the best way I can think of it.
I have discovered a glitch.
You have discovered a glitch.
Yes. One of
What
those
is this
see-through
glitch?
screens that the robots like to randomly act like they're pressing buttons on. It's orange, and I'm looking from the other side. And all the other colors get muted by the orange except green. The green is just as bright as ever.
Huh.
Green is immune to orange shifting.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Sorry, continue, Foil.
I've already lost my train of thought because I'm disappointed in the fact I didn't pick up scrolls.
All right. So, Bungie's bad and hail Lord BioWare. Is that our end here?
You know what? I wouldn't even... Like, I'm not going to say BioWare is innocent in everything, because they do have some say. Hey, another paintbrush.
And we've lost them.
You let me reinstall Oblivion. What have you done?
I am
gonna
sorry,
break
but
this
I wanted to
Xbox
play
within a
Oblivion, and you just decided to download it.
He's gonna
That
break
was
this
on
Xbox
you.
within a week. Shut up! Fuck! Outro it! Outro it!
Don't.
Thanks
don't
everyone for
say that
watching.
because I
Shadow,
know.
you have anything to say?
Shut up! No, outro it. We don't have time.
If you don't hear from me again
Boyle,
for a
you
long
have anything to
time,
say?
It was Oblivion.
G-Dog? If you're still there?
Apparently
No?
not.
Okay.
I don't blame
Bye,
you.
everyone.